Howdy. For my next 3 reviews, I'm looking at my remaining Revenge of the Fallen Scouts. The first of these is Dune Runner, the only new mold of the 3. The alt mode is a Dune buggy, and at first this seems like merely a rescale of movie Landmine. It is, to an extent, but the details differ in places. I mean, you take Landmine, shrink him down to half size, replace these gas tanks and this single gun with these 2 cannons, and you have Dune Runner, more or less. The cannons themselves can move up and down at multiple joints, tilt back and forth, and pivot to the sides. So you get a bit of play value here. You've also got additional lights on the roof, and the tyres are thicker, which is appropriate for a rugged patrol vehicle. Though it's hard to show on this camera, the interior has some detail too, such as the steering wheel. It's not as good as Landmine's, but it is only a scout figure, so... My only problem with this buggy mold-wise is that there are some gaps around the roof section, as the piece just doesn't align well with the rest of the vehicle. It's still pretty solid, just not as much there. The shade of green used as the main colour looks realistic, but at the same time dull. Not that Landmine's blue-grey was terribly exciting either. Fortunately, there are some nice silver and metallic olive paint apps to break it up, as well as the Nest logo on the sides. The transformation is simple, but fairly involved, which is always good for a scout. The robot mode also looks really cool. His general proportions in particular are great all round. You kinda get a cave explorer vibe from this guy, especially with the headlamps. In fact, his head resembles Cybertron's scattershots a little. I know I'm not the only one to say that. I've seen pictures of a Beachcomber repaint that only enhances this even more. Talking of colours, the scheme gets a little ugly here, at least in my opinion. This blue-grey and military green combination doesn't look that good to me. It could be worse, I suppose. The cannons are still poseable here, and with the help of the shoulder joints, you get a lot more range of motion. Though, when I do move the cannons themselves in either mode, the plastic makes a rubbery squeaky noise that suggests brittleness to me. I don't know if anyone else has this problem. Articulation elsewhere is pretty good, about as much as you'd expect from a figure this size. The only problem I have here is that the chest panel doesn't lock down. But if it did lock down, then waist articulation would be hindered. So it's not as much of a problem when you consider that. Overall, I really like Dune Runner, and I'd say he's one of the best scouts out there, alongside Ransack and Depth Charge. Although, if the colours don't appeal to you, you may want to wait for the Beachcomber themed repaint. The Scout reviews continue with Reverb next, so stay tuned.